Hello, everybody. Tanya Williams here from A Child-Free Happily Ever After. Now, if you don't know who this lovely lady is that I'm sitting here with today, you are probably very familiar with the song that she created. And I was so excited to hear that we actually had a child-free anthem, and that is created by this lovely lady, Lili Roquelin. Thank you so much for chatting today. I just think the song is so catchy, and we're going to talk more about that in terms of how you developed it and everything. But let's start with telling people a bit more about Lili. Who are you? Tell us a bit more about your background, Lili.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm really honored. So, my name is Lili Roquelin, and I am a singer songwriter and proud woman music producer. I am originally from France, and I've been living in the US for many years, and I've been living in New York City since about 2008. So, it's been a great adventure here, and yeah, I'm just excited to chat with you today.
Awesome. So tell me a bit more about your personal situation. Do you have a partner, and you're child free? Tell me a bit more about your child free journey as well.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so I'm married and to a child-free man, obviously, and we're both child-free. And I figured out. I guess I must say that I figured out that I would be child-free and I wouldn't have any children in my life. A very young age. I was about 15. So it's been quite a long time. It's not something that I had to struggle in my life thinking about really at any time. So yeah, when I was 15 years old, I was chatting with one of my girlfriends, one of those candid chats when we're teenagers. And we were talking about our future and our dreams and things like this. And she was saying that, that she would want to have two kids later in her life. And then she asked me, "How about you? How many kids do you want?" And I said, "Oh, well, I don't think I'm gonna have any kids like ever. Like that's really not. I really don't see that." In my life. And so it was, it just came out like that. And yeah, I think it was a true insight. And yeah, and throughout the rest of my life, I just stick to it. And I never really, I was, um I guess people criticize, but I was never challenged to the point where I had to like sit and change my mind. So I never changed my mind.
Good. We're glad. Just because you've created such a great song for us because of that. In obviously you've been creating music for a while. What types of music have you been creating up to this point, or do you typically do in your day-to-day life?
Oh, but so I have a lot of different music and genres that I have explored. I would say it's kind of like indie pop now. I guess they change the labels of music in the categories, but it's always been like broadly pop rock. Um, like years ago, before I was a solo artist, I was with rock bands, and then I even was in a pretty heavy rock band. And so and then after that I went to a solo career where I took the piano and I had more like ballads, kind of melancholic type of thing. And then my last three I would say two albums have more upbeat, especially the last album, Be Inspired, is a more upbeat, and I play the ukulele as well as the piano now. And so I've produced these kind of like indie pop songs, and I still do have some piano ballads. And so yeah, it's a very broad genre. I don't stick to like one very very particular uh, uh constricted style. Like it's kind of, I have different moods. I believe we're human beings. When the music industry tells us, oh well, if you do moody like ballads, that's what we expect you to do. I'm like, oh my gosh, that means I have to have only the same mood all the time. I don't like to
Yeah.
be into like controlled that way, so I just let myself be.
I'm always impressed with when people can write songs and play instruments and have this musical talent, because it's something that I just do not have. Just to have the patience to sit and learn how to play a musical instrument, I think is very inspirational for me, because I've never had that patience or that inclination. So I think that's fantastic to start with. But tell me more about why you created the song Childfree?
Yeah. So, I heard the word child free, I don't know, maybe a few years ago. I'm not sure, like you probably know that. I don't know if it's you that that came out with the word. I'm not sure who at some point
No,
said,
it's been around for a while. Yeah.
or if it just came around in the culture to everybody at the same time. Well, we started saying, okay, it's not childless. Childless sounds so negative. It's child free. We're free from children, so from having any children. So when I heard that, and I was like, well, this is just perfect. Yeah, this is who I am. My husband as well, and so and the word really stuck to my head. And then at some point, sometime last year, I was reading some content or listening to a podcast, and I thought, oh, this really speaks to me, and maybe I should just, actually write a whole song, not just, a little snippet, whatever, just write a whole song and put the whole song out. So it took me a whole year to really put it out. There was some distraction. I was also nervous, so I was procrastinating a little bit. I was nervous of getting backlash and stuff like that. So yeah, generally that's what happened. And then a year later, the production and everything was finished. I also put a lot of pressure on myself on getting it right. So that's the overall story of it.
So what was your inspiration then? So like, obviously you've taken a year to write it, you're creating this song. What were the types of things that were inspiring you in terms of trying to come up with the lyrics and the sort of the overall tone of the song?
Yeah, so the lyrics, most of it is from my personal experience, and other things relates to what other women have struggled with, with family, or when they're told, well, this is just what it is and you can change it. Women have to have children. And so, I wanted it to not only tell my story, but also I wanted other child-free women to relate to the song. So I did do a little bit of research. I looked for interviews on YouTube and, trying to see how other women feel, because, in my life, I didn't struggle with my close family. That was not something that was a problem for me, but I know a lot of other women, and I can only imagine like the pressure, like, when their own mothers or like telling them and annoying them, and like, oh my gosh, thank goodness my mother didn't do that to me. So all that inspired me for the lyrics. I came up with the proper lyrics for that. Then the music, at first I had written it was a little bit more mid-tempo, but it's it was the same chords. And then I get the guitars down by the acoustic guitarist, and I was like, that I don't feel that. And then I just increased the tempo, and I was okay, yeah, it needs to be like upbeat, and like, because that's what it's about. We're singing, that we're happy, we don't need babies to be happy. It needs to be like out there in your face. So then I increased the tempo, and then with the guitars and everything, the drums, everything worked. Like, I was like, okay. So and that can happen with songs, but when there's a particular message like this, where only one tempo is really gonna fit, you have to find the correct one. So I worked hard on that. And then the music, I wanted it to be, indie pop rock and have, guitars, acoustic guitar. So yeah, I worked hard on it. And I know I drove all the other musicians crazy trying to get exactly what I wanted. I wanted the bass a certain way, like the drums. I mean, they're really talented, and they don't mind working, for a crazy woman as a boss too. So, they're great musicians. And, so, yeah, I had to get the acoustic guitar redone a few times and things like this. And then the mixing was complicated, because I didn't want the vocals to be really, really upfront. I wanted it to be that when you hear it, like if you're a child-free person or, child-free woman, you'd hear it, you would catch the words. You'd be, oh my gosh, she's singing about this. Like, I haven't heard anything like this before. And then if somebody that has kids, they might not necessarily notice what I'm singing about. So I wanted it to still appeal to everybody. So that was really a fine line to find exactly where the vocals had to sit. I know that mix engineers and musicians listening, they'll be, oh yeah, I know what she's talking about. But but yeah, and then the mastering, I did 2 different masters done until I had the proper one. And mastering engineer is in Australia, by the way. It's Nate Johnson. Yeah, I don't remember which city, but yeah, he's in Australia, and I have to tell him that we did an interview for Australia.
I mean, us Aussies are pretty cool, I have to say. I might be a little biased there, but we're pretty relaxed and pretty, go with the flow.
Yeah, he was awesome mastering I've ever had. It was really good. Mm-hmm.
Good. Excellent. So, I mean, I can't even imagine the song being a slower tempo, having heard it, and as you said, like, it's where the child-free lifestyle is very positive and happy and upbeat and so forth. So I can't imagine it being a slower song. Like, I'm so glad that it is the sort of tempo that it is, because it's got that really sort of upbeat. You sort of dance along to it, you dance around, and you know what I mean. It's I couldn't imagine it being any other way. So I think you've done an excellent job of really capturing the essence of that child-free lifestyle.
Thank you. I'm glad it did. I mean, I guess when you hear it, there's some parts in the song. I mean, the song is, I guess we call it alternative, and Apple Music put it as alternative. So they, if they think so, and there's, there's like a part before the chorus that gets kind of a little bit dark. Yeah. When I talk about the 1960s, and we've come so far since the 60s, and then there's a little bit of like, not bitterness, but there's a little bit of anger that's coming through this. But then, we're just coming out, and it's my decision, it's my life, and then we have the big chorus. So yeah, it all that takes work.
Of course. So why now? I mean, obviously it's been a year in the making, but what made you to go, now's the time to do this?
Yeah, so when I had the idea last year, I knew that for me, I was mature enough to finally write and come out with a song that was daring, with a message that was daring for me, and for everybody to hear. And the procrastination kind of shows how I was nervous about it. I was like, oh, should I really do this? Am I gonna get like haters? Which I am getting, but it's okay.
Really?
And
talk more about that. We're
gonna talk about that. But I just felt
that to do at the time. It's like,
I felt mature enough, because in my 20s I would not have done that. Not because I thought I was going to change my mind, not at all. I know people listening might be, oh, but no, not at all. It's more that I thought that I had to sing about things that were more nuanced and that people wanted to hear. And because that's what we're told, men are going to sing about divorcing or, do things like this. But women, we kind of like, we have, in my 20s, it was a long time ago, not that long ago, it's like, the industry was still telling women what to do. And, I've grown as a person, and also, the music industry is changing a little bit. It's slow. But as you know, I think when women in general, when we get more mature, we get to speak up. At least is what's happening to me. We speak up more easily. We have more confidence. Yeah. And different than when you're 22. When you're 22, you still feel afraid that you're going to be judged and all this and all that. So,
absolutely. Yeah. I think there's certainly some wisdom that comes with getting mature, like getting older. You're definitely more confident. I know where I am now. And as you said, at 22, I would never have done so many of the things that I do now, because I just wouldn't have had the confidence to do it. I would have been too worried about what everyone else thought, because I think when you're younger, you're very much about what other people think of you and standing out and all that sort of stuff. Whereas as you get older, you want the exact opposite. You want to stand out. You want to be different. You want to be heard. So that maturity is such a big part of that as well.
Yeah, I think we just don't care anymore. It's like, oh, who cares? I want to say that. I want to go, even like, you're upset. I was like, I'm going to say a funny story. There's this dog across the street barking every day. And I'm like, oh my God, it's terrible. And, maybe in my 20s, I would have been like, okay, it'll just stop. I just don't wait anymore. I file a complaint. I go knock on the door. I go just, yell at people like, what the hell is this going on? So, yeah, we just don't let things bother us and we just say it.
Yeah. And I'm the same. I'm just like, I don't give a shit. I don't care if someone doesn't like it. I don't like, it's on them if they don't like it. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And I think at the end of the day, you've got to be mindful of the fact that you're never going to please everybody. Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to like what you do or your message or whatever. And I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? So let's go back to when you said before about you getting haters, because this is something that when it comes to this child-free conversation, most people that are putting out child-free content can probably attest to this as well, that you'll get those odd people who will want to, hate on you and go, well, you're not normal. And who do you think you are? And why are you saying all this stuff? And no one cares and whatever. So we get all those sorts of messages, through the content that we're putting out. What sort of feedback have you had? Like when you're saying haters, who is it? And what sorts of things are they saying to you?
Yeah. So, I guess, when I released the song, I put it out, social media and things like this. I was very nervous. I don't think people realize, but I took a risk by putting this song out. But I knew that whatever risk I was taking, would be to the benefit of inspiring, hopefully, young women when they hear the song. They will always have the song there when they have a doubt. They can even play it to their mother or grandmother that are, annoying them and say, look, this is how I feel. And then if they want to hate me, that's okay. They can hate the song. But as long as it helps them to speak up and just decide what they really want to do in their life, and not go and have children as they really don't want to have children, that's the point. But so yeah. So I released the song to my newsletter at first, which is, thousands of people. And so I got some neutral responses. I got some I do have a lot of positive responses too. And some of them, said, oh, this is awesome. This is daring. This is bold and congratulations and this and that. Then I had one person that did not get what Childfree was about, and he immediately think that it was about being pro-choice, which I don't mind, but that's not what the song is about. So then he attacked me about abortion and all sorts of things like this. So we had to get rid of him.
Yeah.
I say we because I have a coordinator that that helps in this sort of thing. And then in my acquaintances, the people that I know in person, so my family, I haven't had any problem. As far as positive reactions, there are actually women that came forward saying, no, I'm child-free by choice too, and I didn't know. So it opens a conversation, which is awesome. And then there were some women, I guess some that are mothers, that came and say, oh, well, this is great, you do whatever you want, but me as a mother, I also wanted to point out that I'm happy to be a mother and blah 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 blah. So I'm like, yeah, I didn't get why they would like come to me and tell me those things. And so I'm not sure exactly what's their feeling towards me about this, because I guess they felt defensive. It was really interesting. The song is about being happy to be child-free, not that you're not happy when you're a mother.
Yeah. And you're not attacking motherhood. You're not saying anything negative about motherhood. You're just saying that I'm happy to be child-free. And I think often parents take that stuff the wrong way, and then they want to jump on it like we're attacking them. It's just like, how is my choice to be child-free attacking your choice to be a mother? It's not. We can both live happily side by side.
It's like, when a woman speaks up and says that she's happy of doing something that is not expected of her, it's not accepted right away. It's like, oh, well, then what am I? And so yeah, this is what's going on in their head, not our problem. So I did have some of that. And then also a few other acquaintances are women that are pregnant, and when they announced me they were pregnant, they didn't know what to expect, and so it was a little weird. And I was like, yeah, that's great, congratulations, blah, blah. And so it was a little weird. It's like, yeah, I don't know what they expect that, we're like anti-pregnant women. I'm not, I have a few friends that have kids, and then, online, I have a big network, because I've been doing music for so long, and in the music industry, I have a lot of acquaintances, whether it's music or film industry, because I had my music in films and all that. So, so I did have negative comments of people that I knew.
What, criticizing the topic? Like, was it
Yeah.
why are you singing about that? What sort of
So from people that I had met, well, some things came back to the pro-choice, and I had to argue, that's not what the song is about. I guess it's a big topic in the US right now. So and my son came out in the middle of that. I was, so but it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with that. Yeah, I'm like, it doesn't have anything to do with that. But then it's then they might attack me as being a woman that's promoting anti-natalism. So they think extreme right away, and then there's no room for like discussing. And then I'm like, just read the lyrics. It's not what it's not what I'm saying, that nobody should have kids. I'm just saying that those that don't have kids by choice, they're happy. So yeah, so that. And then there's, I don't know, they're internet trolls, or if they really targeting the video. I did leave a few comments on the video. The video has like, I don't know, close to 7,000 views, real views. And so that many comments and likes and some dislikes. And I left a few, I delete them, but it's annoying because, so I'm filtering them, and I still have to read some of them, and I have to delete them. And I don't know if they're internet trolls, but it looks like they really, so on the cover art, I don't know if we're gonna see this because of my background. Cover art is like,
if you hold it in front
over here,
you'll be able to see it.
Cover art is right here. There we go. So yeah, I have 55 child-free women on the cover art that I had found on social media. They're wonderful and beautiful. And so the haters, it's only men that are commenting on the video. They're only men. I left a few comments. I'm not gonna like go look for them, but I know in general what it's about. They're attacking us, like the 55 plus me, on the cover art, or child-free women in general. They say that we're crazy, and they're like, oh, you're trying to convince me or yourself, things like this. And I left some of them purposely just so people know what we're dealing with, because sometimes I don't know if it's because I live in New York City, but sometimes if I say yes, there's some backlash coming with the song, and they're like, really, why? Like, why don't they just let women do? I'm like, you live in New York City. I don't know if you have an idea of, some people can be really open-minded in New York. So that's why I left the comments purposely. People need to know we deal with like, some nasty things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I find as well in general, particularly on YouTube, that there does seem to be more male haters on YouTube than anywhere else. Because I'm the same. I've gotten comments, and a lot of the comments, the negative comments, are from men. And you go, well, you can't even have a child like yourself. Like you can obviously have, your partner can have one, but they seem to have very strong opinions about women. It's their job to have babies, and if you don't do it, then you're not normal and you're the devil and all this sort of crazy stuff. It's just, it's an interesting one that men are so vocal about it.
Yeah. When, like you said, if it was men that had to carry babies, that it would completely change their life and health.
Underpopulated, that's for sure.
Yeah. If it was them, they would have had that right, and to speak about it like decades and decades ago.
The world would be very different. So what are your goals with the song? So when did you officially launch it? How long has it been out for?
It came out September 15th.
Okay, cool. So it's been a couple of months. So what are your goals with the song? What do you actually want to try to achieve with it?
Well, I want to change the world, of course. I really, really want younger women especially to be inspired by it, and to go to it when they struggle with criticism, and to just hear it, and I want them to feel uplifted. I guess like a lot of the songs that I love make me feel they have a strong message, and that would just make me feel like that. I wanted to make them feel good about themselves and their life choices. And like I said earlier, they want to use the song as a message to, send it as a gift to their mother. And with the lyrics, there's actually the lyric video now out, everybody. Now you can just use the link, send it to your moms, and and just,
that's a great idea, because if they don't hear it straight away and and understand what it's about, just read the lyrics and that explains it for you.
Yeah, so that, of course. And I'm just really grateful that the Childfree community took it as an anthem, and that's really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly what we needed. I've been thinking for a while that, oh my God, that we need some sort of a song. And then all of a sudden, I heard about you and I was like, oh my God, we finally have our own child-free anthem. And I think the lyrics just speak to what most of us have experienced and about a lot of our lives, which I just think is fantastic. So how can people in the child-free community help you to promote this song? What do you want us to do? Because I know I'm planning some content. I want to put the song in it and I want to share it and do all that sort of stuff. But there's millions of child-free people around the world. There's lots of child-free communities online. What do you want us to do? How can we help you get this song out to more people?
Yeah, sure. Any child-free women or people out there, feel free to share it to your meetup groups, any Facebook groups, any groups where that that you share the same lifestyle with, and just show them the song. And I think anybody can do that. Play it and enjoy it. Helping me, I'm just here to help others. So just play the song, and that's just great. And make sure makes you feel good, of course. And so the song is at all music platforms. Lili Roquelin.
Tell us exactly where we can find it then, so we can direct everyone there.
Yeah, and all music platform, Apple Music. If you just enter Childfree, I think I'm like the top one. The other Childfree songs are not about the lifestyle at all. It's something else in Russian. It's something else. So Childfree, even if you don't know how to spell my last name, you're struggling, enter Lili Childfree, and it will come up. I also have the website childfreesong.com, and that will take you to my website. So Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, there's the lyric video on YouTube. I have a big busy YouTube channel with
iTunes as well.
Yeah, and I have all my music. I have like 6 albums too. With if you like the music, just check it out. And some of my music was on TV before, and so you might have heard it. So I hope you all enjoy that. And say hello on Instagram and Twitter. I always check mine.
So share what your Instagram account and your Twitter account is as well, so we can and I'll put that in the links.
Sure, it's at Lili Roquelin, LiliRoquelin.
Awesome. So if you're listening to this, guys, make sure you go and follow Lili on Insta and go and check out her channels as well, because I'm sure she has some other fantastic music that she has that she can share with us. Lili, thank you. It's been so lovely to chat to you. I've loved hearing more about the story behind the song. I think anyone that watches this will love hearing that as well. I think this is a fantastic thing for the child-free community, and I'm a big advocate and supporter for all the content that's happening at the moment, and all the stories and the podcasts and the movies, and now we've got a song. And I think this is fantastic in terms of moving the movement forward, letting people know they're not alone, because I think that's a big part of everything that we're trying to do is to let them know, hey, you're not alone. There's other people out there like you, and trying to push back on the criticism and change the judgment that we all get from society. And I think this is another way that we can do that, is by sharing the song and getting it out into the mainstream, and hoping it gets picked up by, maybe we can get it picked up by some radio stations or something as well, so they can be playing it. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really awesome. Thank you so much for talking to me, Lili. I'll make sure we'll put some links in the underneath the video so people can connect with you directly as well. And I look forward to definitely sharing this the song and using it in some of the content and stuff that I create, so we can make sure we get it out there.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Lily.